Last two.
We're going out with a. Actually, we don't go out with a bang at all. This is the bang.
Getting ready for marriage.
Naturally, just need to smoke as much as possible beforehand.
No, no. Ah, it got me again. Jeez.
So here's something to think about. I wonder what it is that has led to the prevalence of stories that prominently feature like students that have crushes on their teacher, reciprocated or not. Because
Hmm.
that's something that comes up a lot in anime and manga, particularly in Yuri. Though this is a an exception to that rule because not only is it not the main character, it's also a male teacher.
I'm honestly not sure.
Because that's something that you like. I'm not. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all media, but like it
Hmm.
doesn't happen with the same frequency in American media, and when it does, it's almost like 100% used pornographically. Well, not to say that like Yuri is its own, its own kind of, is essentially its own kind of pornography,
It
but
is.
that's a whole different topic
Ki-
altogether.
Aw.
It's just curious is all.
I should probably look more into just kind of the history of that. Stay tuned for more when I do.
Meanwhile, those two lazy jerks are just sitting there sleeping after getting up in the living room while mom takes care of everything.
It's in my lap, dumbass.
What do you think's in this bag? This would be the absolute worst my nightmare to me though. Just I have to go to my teacher's wedding. Like it's not even my teacher. A faculty member at my school is getting married, so I have to go.
Ugh.
I don't even want to go to weddings of people I know.
Plus, you have to buy stuff for him too.
Haha, I'm
No need to.
marrying your crush. Don't cry.
Aren't you a great sister?
Yeah, congratulate me as I rub it in your face.
Wow, browbeat by your sister in like pretty much every way possible.
I heard there was an open bar. You have less reason to be here than me, and I barely have a reason to be here. It's amazing how much energy you can have when you don't spend most of your time moping.
Mm. God, just man, just like put in a different soundtrack, and this could be like the introductions of a horror. Just the great love pet pendant sept. It's a mess.
You need a flow chart to figure it out.
Like this is the flashback that plays like during a murder investigation.
After they've all murdered each other.
I was gonna say it looked like one of those funeral sort of pictures that they always have, which would be oddly appropriate and a great burn.
Yeah. Since that seems to be the name of the game today, is Burn Sugimoto.
Maybe I should turn my phone on.
No, she just has friends and a social life outside of you. Yeah, she's the mean one.
God, what a bunch of jackass sisters, though.
Why? Why is this guy such a catch? He's the blandest, most nothing nobody that ever nobodied.
Like, he's not even, like, have an interesting, weird anime hair color to go with his empty pomp.
Like he's not
He's
handsome. He doesn't lead an interesting life. He's not rich. Like, why are they fighting over him? Is this like the only man they've ever met?
not to mention he's just not funny. No, it's true. You
Like, he's got very little discernible personality. He even knows it. He just said that. His words. Well, just like any one of them could like walk 4 feet in any direction and meet somebody more interesting than him.
like even Akira's garbage brother has a little bit more going on for him.
Wait, so you could invite her to what's her
Wait, so,
face's to like basically you can invite her to into a stranger's home, but like you won't invite her to follow you to a wedding involving people she knows.
like why does her brother look just so terrified?
I don't know.
Oh, Oh God, he's so hot.
Just look at him and his hair that
Look at
looks like
those
it's barely combed and a tie.
and his gray on gray.
It's from last week.
And it wasn't a love letter.
Whatever, the youngest one's about to dig her own grave with those words. Trying to start a fight over there.
I love how they're like trying to make her as this great cougar for magic to bag. Look at him. He's so.
I will say though, from like a just a basic art direction standpoint, though, I really like what they did with the I don't know, the one getting married. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Because like this whole series, it doesn't have it's bordering on the generic with its art style. Like it's not, it doesn't look bad, but it's not very distinct looking series.
Mm-hmm.
But with the sisters, at least, they did a very good job with making them all look very discernibly different in ways that anime characters, especially women, don't typically get to look like. The married one
Mm-hmm.
has a very like elongated face and almost gaunt looking at times, and like some of the other ones, like their face shape is different in ways that aren't designed to make them like cute or appealing, but it makes them distinct.
Mm-hmm.
It also does a good job of making them seem older without just like slapping wrinkles on them.
Mm-hmm. Like here's two lines on their cheeks.
That's how you know they're 27.
She looks how I feel. Man, Fumi, did you just not get up this morning? Dun dun.
Must have sucked for you, huh? Maybe I shouldn't have let her get into my brother's car.
Wow, this was a great idea. And we're like 3 years too early to drink. This sucks.
While the brother's like, I left the wedding's bar for this.
Why do you look perpetually slapped on the ass, man? I'm sensing a very selective memory here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But this is, you don't often see in a lot of stuff characters fall in love, get into a relationship, that relationship ends, and then they get over it.
Mm.
Which is why I like Aoi Hana, or at least the first third of it, because that's what the entire series is about at that point. And like this is like kind of the peak of that, is that Fumi just basically tells Sugimoto to go fuck off and fuck herself.
Man, I'm hot. Damn.
Also, Sugimoto needs to have a little more discretion with her just willy-nilly outing other people without telling them.
Mm. Yeah. Here.
In retrospect, that was like 2 years ago.
To be fair, that's like a billion years in high school years.
That is true.
Also, this averts the anime thing of everybody having the exact same hairstyles, like, pretty much at birth.
Yeah. Like that's the third hairstyle we've seen on her.
I think I captured his white toast just right.
I'm sure if you didn't change schools yourself, they probably would have made you.
Yeah.
But now I'm 17. I'm totally grown up now. I'm not a kid anymore.
Don't make a joke. Don't make a joke. Don't make a joke.
We're better than this. We're really not.
No, we're not. Didn't I just tell you to beat it?
Meanwhile, Akira's still looking out for Fumi even after the whole ghosts are rad thing.
I mean, that's true friendship right there. Like, they do nothing, but
All they
don't
do is
mind the
ruin the
blood
cave
dripping.
ceiling.
Don't mind the blood dripping from that either. That's normal. No, I really shouldn't leave them alone.
That's great. Just like I I didn't want to see you. Like fuck you.
Then don't turn me to a pity lay. That was like the politest way to.
To tell him to go kick rocks. But like that's something you don't see often. Mostly because whenever characters end up relationships in media for the most part, that's where they stay. Unless
Mm.
unless the whole point of it is that they can't keep a relationship, which is a whole nother can of worms.
Though I guess another thing that I really appreciated from a characterization standpoint is how this, like, if we look at this as just kind of, I guess, a completely isolated story on its own,
Oh, apparently B
like
Train worked on
completely
this.
disavowing it from the rest of what's going to happen to the manga. Huh? Damn them.
I can't believe we just
Anyway,
noticed that now, not
I guess
10
just,
episodes ago. But you were
huh?
saying?
Weird. Right. When we look at this as like a character narrative, it's kind of a lot more satisfying. I have seen sort of stories where just kind of it being like it didn't work out and it's super artsy for that, but I can kind of appreciate it just from what it is as a characterization arc for Fubi, who did just kind of start out as somebody who was pretty much abused and used and kind of dragged around awfully by her cousin, and having her character journey ultimately being having like a similar situation handed to her on a similar platter, and just being mature enough and growing enough to say, I can handle this on my own. I don't need to get stuck in this again. I can walk off, instead of just like the usual all relationships suck message that they go for.
Yeah, it would have been very easy for them to say, to make her a very jaded, like anti-love person, but instead they did a much more mature and interesting thing with her, and I really
Mm.
appreciate that.
Let's talk more about that last episode.